Hi, welcome to the channel. My name is Sam and today we are going to compare the OnePlus 9 Pro with the Xiaomi Mi 11 Ultra. We are comparing both phones in terms of display, performance, camera, design and battery. So stay tuned and find out which phone is in our opinion the better phone. If you'd like to see more videos like this, feel free to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Let's start straight away with our review. Let the facts speak. Performance. The Mi 11 Ultra uses the Qualcomm Snapdragon 888 chip with the power-efficient 5nm process technology. It offers 12GB RAM and has a storage capacity of 256GB. The storage capacity unfortunately cannot be expanded. Next up, the OnePlus 9 Pro. The 9 Pro is available in two versions, one with 8GB RAM and 128GB storage capacity, and one with 12GB RAM and a memory of 256GB. Both versions use the Qualcomm Snappdragon 888 chipset. Since both phones also have the same amount of RAM, this battle will be won in the software area. Which of the two is going to come out on top? Let's bring them into our benchmark tests and find out. The Antutu benchmark is benchmarking the performance of both phones. The tests are divided in three phases. A performance test of the RAM, a test how the device is handling two-dimensional graphics, and an endurance test of how the device is handling 2D graphics. Wow, that was close. The OnePlus 9 Pro has the advantage and wins. Let's see if that continues. The second test is from Geekbench. This app will measure the performance of our smartphones in terms of CPU and GPU. Not so close anymore, but yet another win for the 9 Pro. One less chance to score at least 1 point for the Mi 11 Ultra. And the third test is the 3D Mark Wildlife, which is a cross-platform benchmark for comparing the graphics performance of the devices. Even though the last benchmark was decided by only 2 points, the Mi 11 Ultra couldn't stand a chance in terms of performance against the OnePlus 9 Pro. The 9 Pro won in every benchmark test and takes home this point. Camera. The OnePlus 9 Pro features a quad rear camera system. It consists of a 48MP wide angle, a 50MP ultra wide angle, an 8MP telephoto and a 2MP monochrome camera. Its front camera has a resolution of 16MP. The 9 Pro records 8K videos at a maximum of 30 frames per second and 4K videos at a maximum of an incredible 120 frames per second. A special feature is the color calibration system by famous camera manufacturer Hasselblad. Well, does the name Hasselblad on the camera bump help the OnePlus to win? Let's take a look at the Mi 11 Ultra first and find out afterwards in our camera comparison. The Xiaomi Mi 11 Ultra is equipped with a triple rear camera setup, featuring a 50MP wide angle, a 48MP ultra wide angle and a 48MP telephoto camera. Its front camera has a resolution of 20MP. The Mi 11 Ultra records 8K videos at a maximum of 24 frames per second and of course features optical image stabilization. Both phones have good camera systems, but which one is actually the better system? Let's take it to our camera test and let's find out which one does a better job. As usual, with first taking a look at the pictures taken in daylight conditions. The first impression lets the color of the OnePlus 9 Pro pop more than the Xiaomi. It also seems brighter. Let's take a closer look at the chart. The 9 Pro has way more contrast, which makes it look unnatural and gives it a compression distortion glow at the contours. The Mi 11 Ultra on the other hand does a better job. Its pictures look more natural. The plant makes this obvious. Instead of over-sharpening the plant, which the 9 Pro does, the Mi 11 Ultra is out of focus. And that's because of the shallow depth of field of the big sensor inside that phone. Let's compare the nighttime conditions. Again, the 9 Pro looks a tiny bit brighter than the Mi 11 Ultra. Let's see how they look zoomed in. OnePlus is adding tons of grain to its image and loses a lot of details. I'm not saying that the Mi 11 Ultra looks better. It again looks more natural. And the same goes for the plant. The picture from the front camera also comes across better on the Xiaomi Mi 11 Ultra, as its white balance is more on point and it looks better saturated. Okay, so far so good. Now let's switch from photo feature to the video feature, to find out which of these two phones takes better videos. What you can see and hear is the quality of the Xiaomi Mi 11 Ultra's video recording. We set it to the highest possible quality. Let's see what the competitor sounds and looks like. What you can see and hear is the quality of OnePlus 9 Pro's video recording. We set it to the highest possible quality. Let's see what the competitor sounds and looks like. The sound quality is quite good on both, but the 9 Pro has a little bit less background noise. But in terms of the video quality, the Mi 11 Ultra definitely does a better job, whereas the OnePlus has some problems with color rendering, as you can see on my lips and in the blue of the background, which leads to color noise. The sharpness appeared similar good. Let's see if that is still true when cropping in post. Well, it gets more obvious that the Mi 11 Ultra has the sharper image. Let's continue cropping in. At 10 times cropped in, the Mi 11 Ultra falls apart. Both look pixelated and the Mi 11 Ultra still shows a little bit more details, but it also has a lot of sharpening distortions. The OnePlus 9 Pro is able to produce slow motion videos with 240 frames per second in Full HD and 480 frames per second in 720p. Whereas the Xiaomi Mi 11 Ultra kills it with an incredible 1920 frames per second in both Full HD and 720p. This is a clear win for the Xiaomi Mi 11 Ultra. It has some minor disadvantages compared to the OnePlus 9 Pro, like that it has slightly more noise when it comes to recording audio, and that the picture seems a little darker, but the quality is overall much better and therefore the Xiaomi Mi 11 Ultra takes home this point. Display. The OnePlus 9 Pro features a 6.7-inch display with a 1440p resolution. It uses an AMOLED screen with an adaptable 120Hz refresh rate and a peak brightness of 1300 nits. The phone therefore measures roughly 17 cm diagonally and has a pixel density of 525 ppi. Very good stats and a great looking screen. Now let's check out the display of the Mi 11 Ultra. The Xiaomi Mi 11 Ultra features a 6.81-inch two-color display with a 1440p Quad HD resolution. It uses an AMOLED screen which creates very natural colors. The Mi 11 Ultra therefore measures 17.29 cm diagonally with a pixel density of 515 ppi. The display also has an adaptable 120Hz refresh rate, a peak brightness of 1700 nits and features Dolby Vision. As with most high-end smartphones these days, the screens of these two phones show a remarkable resemblance, although only on the outside. In terms of performance, they differ in almost all categories. While the OnePlus provides a higher pixel density, Xiaomi's screen is bigger, a lot brighter, and features Dolby Vision. In addition to that, it also is more durable, thanks to Gorilla Glass Victus. The 9 Pro on the other hand is only protected by Gorilla Glass 5. The Mi 11 Ultra certainly has one of the best displays on the market right now, and rightfully deserves to get this point. Battery. The OnePlus 9 Pro has 4500 mAh, while the Xiaomi Mi 11 Ultra has 5000 mAh. In terms of fast charging, both feature very big numbers, with 67 watt for the Xiaomi and 65 watt for the OnePlus. Concerning the wireless charging, the Mi 11 Ultra again offers 67 watt, while the OnePlus features 50 watt. Both phones have got reverse wireless charging capabilities. The Mi 11 Ultra has got the bigger battery and should therefore last longer. Let's bring them into the endurance test and see if that's true. The Mi 11 Ultra is definitely an upgrade to the base version, and you can see that also in this category, since its lifetime has increased by around half an hour. But the OnePlus still beats the Mi 11 Ultra by another 30 minutes. In terms of charging, both phones have amazing capabilities. While the OnePlus is a little bit faster when it comes to fast charging, the Mi 11 Ultra charges faster without a cable. All in all, the OnePlus has a small but meaningful advantage compared to the Xiaomi and wins this category. Design. The Xiaomi Mi 11 Ultra is not just a name, it's a motto. The phone has Gorilla Glass Victus in the front, a ceramic backside, and everything is framed by aluminium. The camera bump is situated at the top of the backside and it is eye-catchingly huge. The reason for this are the three pretty big camera lenses and a 1.1-inch secondary screen. Its main purpose is to function as a notification display to show time and battery status, even when the phone is upside down. It also works as a screen for taking better selfies and music controller. The smartphone weighs 234 grams, it has a USB-C connector at the bottom, and if you're an acoustic junkie, Xiaomi has got you covered on another end though. Its dual speakers are manufactured by the experts of Harman Kardon. The phone also uses an in-screen fingerprint sensor and AI face recognition technology to unlock the phone. And unlike the base version, the Mi 11 Ultra is also IP68 water and dust resistant. Well, that huge camera bump is something different. Let's take a look at the 9 Pro next. The OnePlus 9 Pro features a semi-matte glass backside and a shiny aluminum frame. It is available in 3 different color variants: Morning Mist, Stellar Black, and the one that we tested, Pine Green. The quad rear camera bump is situated in the upper left corner on the back of the phone and stands out from the minimalistic design of the rest of the backside. The smartphone weighs 197 grams, it has an USB-C connector at the bottom, and of course it got an IP68 rating and is therefore dust and water resistant. It has an optical fingerprint sensor tucked into the display and also features face recognition technology to unlock the phone. The main difference between them is again the huge camera bump, but the Mi 11 Ultra differs also in terms of the shiny finish and the material that was used. While the 9 Pro has a glass back and front, the Mi 11 Ultra has a ceramic backside, which adds to its weight. It definitely is, as usual, a matter of taste. In our opinion, we think that both phones look equally sophisticated, and because of the small bump, we would have given the point to the 9 Pro. But since you probably already know from other comparison videos, the OnePlus unfortunately failed our simple waterproof test. Which is why we have to again hand the point to its competitor. But we actually don't feel bad about it. The Mi 11 Ultra still deserves this point though. Conclusion. The time has come, it's the end of the video again. And as usual in this section we are going to find out which phone actually won in this comparison. So let's count the points. The display category was decided in favor of the Mi 11 Ultra since it has a brighter, more high-res and bigger display. Both devices use the same processor and have the same amount of raw power. But the 9 Pro was still able to defeat Xiaomi's device in every benchmark test that we put them through. Even though it was quite close here and there, the 9 Pro got the performance point. It seems like that the huge camera bump on the Mi 11 Ultra with the camera system inside is there for a reason. Yes, OnePlus 9 Pro has Hasselblad on its side, but that couldn't help it. The Mi 11 Ultra won the camera comparison. And yes, that bump is ridiculously huge, and as you know, we are no fans of huge camera bumps. Still, we decided to also hand over the design point to the owner of that huge bump as well. The OnePlus design is great, but it loses due to its lack of water resistance. The 9 Pro still had a chance to score a point in the battery life category. It outlasted the Mi 11 Ultra by only a bit, but still enough to win this point. In the end, it was the Mi 11 that won 3 out of 5 categories. The winner in this comparison is therefore called the Xiaomi Mi 11 Ultra. Naturally, we review more than these 5 categories covered here. If you want to see the full comparison, follow the link to our website. You can compare up to 7 different smartphones at versus.com. But before you do that, please post your comments and let us know which phone you think ranks first. If you liked our video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Till then, take care and see you soon.